Hello and welcome to the Big Bang Theory podcast. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Hello.
It's a fallow week, Dan.
It's a Papa John's special.
What you've ordered, not the kind with like extra mushrooms, jalapenos. What would you have on a Papa John's special?
Well, as you can imagine,
Yeah.
One, I've never had Papa John's.
Ah.
2, would never get one.
Oh.
3, if I do get a pizza, I like 90% of the time get a margarita.
Do you?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Purist.
You're a purist. I choose Papa John's over all three of the mainstream pizza.
Yeah, maybe.
vendors.
I don't like any of those, so...
No, fair enough. But I'd always choose the Flat on 4th Street.
Yeah, they're good.
They're not paying for this advert. Genuinely the best pizzas in town.
Yeah, they're really nice. And Portal Pizza on the quay.
Oh, I've heard about that,
It's
but
like
never
a pizza
been.
van, very good. Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you stand on the waterfront?
No,
There's a joke there.
I'm not gonna step into that trap.
Okay.
The waterfront pizza place used to be great back
The old dustbin lid.
back in the day when eat this dustbin lid and we'll take a Polaroid of you and stick it up on the wall.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I think it's just bang average.
Okay.
I feel like they're kind of like trading on the reputation of a completely different restaurant that just happens to have the same name and being in the same building.
Oh, that's interesting. You're probably right. Okay. Thanks for that. So it's a fallow week, but we're going to talk about the following things: Papa John's.
Yep.
We've done the pizza, the competition. We're going to talk about transfers.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about Scunthorpe.
Gossip. Transfer
gossip. It's not
Yeah.
really gossip that we've got, but we're going to talk about it. And then we're going to talk about Scunthorpe, who are at home this Saturday.
Yes.
So it might
Scunny.
not be as long as normal, listeners, but don't worry, it will still be action-packed.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone can blither on, it's
How much
us
more
two.
can we stretch out of a pizza?
I mean, you should always stretch your pizza first.
Well, exactly.
shouldn't you?
How big can you get them?
So, Papa John's, Friday night football. I don't ever recall that being a thing before. I mean, I know it's not a thing.
Well, sometimes it's
Matt
not
Taylor
really a
said they
thing.
fancied being able to do it.
What do you mean?
He literally said, "Oh, we thought it'd be good to have a go Friday night football." In the conversation with Portsmouth, like when it would happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay. Whenever.
I don't know why it couldn't be Saturday, but it wasn't.
Nah, I don't know.
Anyway, it happened. You were there. I wasn't there.
No. Oh, yeah. I went to it.
How many were there?
Don't know.
Were you all in the Ivor Doble?
No. I was on Big Bank.
Okay.
Lots of Portsmouth fans.
Were there?
Fair enough. Yeah, they are.
I suppose no Saturday game.
No Saturday game, but it's not. It's close-ish.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's compared to like some teams.
Yeah.
But more away supporters than you'd see for any league game.
Was there?
Yeah, loads, including what's his name? Pompey John. Pompey
Oh.
John in attendance.
Is that his name?
Yeah,
The guy with the hat.
the guy with the bell and the hat
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
tats. Yeah,
Yeah, okay. I saw him once before when we had him.
yeah.
He goes everywhere. So
I
obviously-
didn't see him, but I heard him, and then someone told me that he was there.
Okay.
Apparently, he runs a bookshop in Portsmouth, and he's a very nice fella.
Does he?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't have put him and bookshops together, but that's just my prejudice.
Yeah. You've exposed yourself there.
Yeah, really. So what? Were they filled the away end?
Filled the away end and the kind of like
Their bit at
the
the
last bit of the whatever it's called,
Yeah.
cowshed, and yeah, and
fair
then
play.
obviously no one in the new
No one in
the
the
old
new one.
grandstand, yeah,
Right. Okay.
and not as many as you think. No drum on the big bank.
So
yeah.
were City fans outnumbered? Would you say?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But it was close,
Mm.
but maybe not close, but
Oh, excellent.
good ratio. Yeah, 2 very early goals.
Yeah.
They just looked really good straight away, and it was a bit worrying.
And it was quite a full strength team, wasn't it, from them?
So I'm told, yeah.
Yeah.
What do we look like? I'm fairly under strength in a way, but not any more so than we would have been anyway, really.
Okay.
No one really left out as such. I can't remember off the top of my head who played. Dieng started, that kind of thing. Matt J. Brown was on the bench.
Seymour start?
Seymour started, yeah.
Okay.
Um,
And how did he look? Same as ever?
Yeah. I mean, he did. does he do much? I'm not sure what to say about him. We haven't said before, really. I mean, there's the question of the main question still is he being asked to do a job that he's never really be likely to be capable of doing? You know, yeah, tough one. Late on in the, not late on, midway through the second half, perhaps even early in the second half, he missed a tap in from about 3 yards, which looked harder to miss, really. But I think it's just, you know, when your luck's out, it's out, you know, and like, not that it's luck, because he should have just put that away. It was the point now. I just felt sorry for him. You know what I mean? And you kind of start thinking, well, we're out of this. At the end of the game, you think, we're out of this competition now. We're out of all of the
everything except the league,
auxiliary comps. It's just the league left. Is he gonna? Will we? How much will we see of him again? You know?
Yeah. I mean, even at the point of, you know, because there was that period, wasn't there? He was given the shirt. He was starting, or he was coming off the bench. Even at that point,
this is 2 seasons ago.
2 seasons ago, isn't it? Yeah, he wasn't used very much. So probably very little.
Yeah, I mean, you know, heavy weighs the crown. You know, like giving him that number 9 shirt, and psychologically, it's like, you know, I mean, it just adds to it. I'm not saying it's like, you know, cursed, you know, thing or anything. You know, like, it's just like when you're already kind of like a striker, you have to score because that's totally what you're judged on, and then you don't, and then you keep not scoring, and you've also got this number 9 on you. It just becomes it would be tough mentally, wouldn't it? You know?
Yeah.
I think
you know, we don't know him. We see him on the pitch, and that's kind of it. And then we don't know Sam Nombe, but we see him on the pitch. 2 very different characters who'd approach having that shirt completely differently, wouldn't they? You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we don't know him, so we don't know whether that would, maybe the number 9 doesn't bother him at all, and it's just like not a factor. But that's just projecting, really. But I don't know.
Okay, so ultimately we went out of that competition, but so it was 2 early goals, wasn't it? 1-1.
1-1. I mean, literally, we scored from the kickoff.
Right.
After they scored, like, you know, they were just kind of got down their right hand side really quick. Early ball to the back post, nodded in, and I thought at this point, we're going to get thumped.
Yeah.
But then, literally from the kickoff, we scored. So Matt J, real nice goal on his left foot, and it stayed like that for a while, and we looked really good. Do you know what I mean? We were probably the better team, I would have said, like for the remainder of the game.
Of course, Portsmouth are League One and looking for promotion, aren't they? You know, and obviously a massive club.
Do you know what I mean? And I think we, like I said, it's pretty much their first team, and they played like they wanted to win it. Do you know what I mean? And they had support there, and you know, they've won this competition before, have they? Did they win that one the year they beat us? It was exactly the same circumstances, basically.
I can't remember.
It was like semi-finals, wasn't it? It was on Sky.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah. And then...
Well, hold on. Not that it matters. That was 2 years ago now, wasn't it? And then...
I guess so, yeah.
And then the final never happened. That was that one, wasn't it?
No, but then...
But then it happened at the same time as the final for the next year.
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember who...
Salford, wasn't it?
Salford won one of them.
And then Sunderland... Weren't Salford in both of them? No. I don't know. This is a stupid competition. Why are we even talking about it?
I don't know, but there was some curious factor that will be in some pub quiz in the future, won't it? Which we won't win at, so I don't know. But no. I think that was what happened, yeah. So I can't remember if Portsmouth won it or not.
But anyway, yeah, it was a repeat of that semi-final, basically. So we then played much better. I thought we set up really well. We looked really good. We were playing nice football. Archie Collins, great again. He's really coming back into form at just the right time, and I really hope that helps us to, pick up like from here on in. Do you mean if he can keep that up, it'll be such an asset to us, because I think he's such a good player, and he's not quite been up until this point in the season or recently. I don't think he's had that long injury, didn't he? And I think probably he's just getting back to his best now.
He was probably not rushed back in, but as soon as he was available, he was.
Yeah, because we need him.
Because we need him, and he's brilliant.
But and he got the goal that he, kind of deserved, really, based on the last 2 or 3 performances. big old deflection, but whatever, you take it, and then you think,
So that's 2-1, right?
yeah, and you think to see the game out, City, like this is after the Seymour miss, so this is probably midway, about 70 minutes, maybe 75.
Right.
We're ahead. Just kind of got to hold on to it really, and and in the space of about a minute, they've won the game 3-2.
Wasn't it either side of 90 minutes, 88 and 93 or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh dear.
So the first one we give away a free kick on our, on the right hand side facing the away end. Free kick comes in, and we a big centre back. To be fair, we know we're bad at defending crosses, set pieces, etc. And it's Jake Caprice up against this big fella. And he just kind of, as if he wasn't there really. Caprice obviously is better going forward than he is in defence. Not that he's a bad defender, but especially in he's not who you'd want.
That, is he?
He's not who you'd want in an aerial battle against a 6'3" centre back from the division above you. Do you mean?
No.
So there's that. But we do have a problem with defending crosses. And then the next one, like I said, minutes later. It's a bit of a mix-up between... so at this point, Harry Kite's come on into that third centre-back role again. Him and Sam Stubbs kind of both go for the same ball. Bit of a mix-up, and it ends up in the back of the net essentially a couple of seconds later. And but that one, as much as it's a shame that we lost that game, you look at that and think, well, yeah, this guy won. This guy's been out for a year.
Yeah.
This guy's not a centre-back.
Yeah.
These are the sort of thing that would happen, and you've got people who don't really...
I mean, I don't know about you, but I'd rather it happens in this game than in...
Yeah, absolutely. And it's all good experience. I was thinking about it, right? So, and we've got, look at the centre-backs we've got now. Sam Stubbs, as much as he's made a few errors in the games he's been around for recently, one, I think it's really promising that he's got on the pitch and played significant amounts of time, in a short space of time too. While he's made a few errors, he has looked really good, and you can see that there's a good centre-back there. Do you know what I mean? And look at the options we've got there now. If everyone's fully fit, so you've got Hartridge, Sweeney, Stubbs, George Ray, Czech Diabate, who is really good again and looks really promising. And then people like Harry Kite, Jonathan Grounds, who are kind of So there's I don't know if I'm missing anyone out even. There might be others. You mean
Well, we were always told Colin Daniel could play there, weren't we? I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't think you really can. But yeah, maybe. But then...
But that's plenty, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you can get those people fit, and then you could think that should be enough. And then, but like I said, even with our best strength choices, we still can't necessarily defend high balls into the box. But you think maybe if they're all to be available for the rest of the season, that should be serviceable as a back line,
Absolutely. So we're out of the Papa John's trophy, but the league fight continues. More of that in a minute. Welcome back. Remember, if you've got any hot takes on our transfers, anything you've seen... I don't know who. Ndombele at Exeter Services.
Yeah. Are you ITK? As they say.
Yeah. If you've got the old knowledge, let us know. You might have seen Jaden Stockley sunning himself on Exeter Canal on one of those paddle boards.
Very unlikely.
Does seem unlikely. You might have seen... I don't know who.
This is the problem with...
Jamil Matt.
Yeah.
In the waterfront.
This is the problem with
place.
speculating about League Two transfers. They don't actually really know. I don't know anyone else's players really, except from if they used to play for us or they're the top goal scorer or something. Isn't it?
Yeah, you might be tracking Nicky Law's plane as it comes back to Exeter Airport.
Well, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? I think that ship has sailed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Anyway, if you've got any...
You wouldn't sail to America, would you? Too far.
Not anymore.
That's day and age. Steam power.
So, yeah, with all that in mind, we were just talking about the kind of strength of the defence. There's some other stuff going on, of course, some loans in and out. Jack Sparks looks like he's back in training for us.
Hard to say, isn't it? But we think
he was in the training
We've done
video.
You've done some sort of investigative journalism in the vein of sort of Donald McIntyre.
That's me, yep.
There's a reference for the youngsters listening. and you've managed to spot Jack Sparks in one of the training videos, right?
I think so. Yeah,
Who
yeah.
you think is Jack Sparks?
Well, it's cold and it's all wrapped
A
up.
beautiful blonde boy, anyway.
Yeah.
And I found one Talkie News Twitter account claiming he'd gone back to us.
And that was the plan, wasn't it? The 8th of January or whatever. So,
Yeah.
So that means our current wide defensive players, and I know it's a bit, grey area, isn't it? We've got Sparks, we've got Caprice, we've got Josh Key, we've got Colin Daniel.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes, I think you could squeeze people into other roles, but that's essentially it.
Okay.
Yeah. The gossip section of this is around Josh Key, isn't it? I suppose because he's the kind of long time kind of rumoured guy. And
well, he admitted, didn't he, that it was common knowledge Sunderland put in an offer.
Yeah. So that's and there's been sort of slight allusion to the fact that perhaps we might sell someone, and it might be him, and nothing explicit. And I haven't seen any kind of even these kind of gossipy Twitter accounts, like saying anything about it, which does happen when it was happening in the summer. So if it was that close, you'd expect there to be someone who might know something. This information usually gets out somehow, doesn't it? But who knows? He might be gone now, but it doesn't look like it.
No.
If he does, though, however,
he was training in that same training video as well.
Presumably, the plan is Caprice moves over to the right, Sparks sits back on the left, which I wouldn't trade any system for not having Josh Key, if you know what I mean. I know what you mean. Much rather have Key in there. I'd just like to keep him to the end of the season. Sounds obvious, but I would.
Absolutely. There were scouts watching him, definitely at the Sutton game, and maybe more recently as well. Forest Green, perhaps. Maybe I mean Forest Green, but there'd been Sunderland scouts at that match, supposedly. But they made an offer and it was turned down, and they're either going to make a bigger offer or they're not. And it feels like they're probably not as time ticks on. Whether there's other teams in for him, who knows? Obviously, there's the old chain of events as well, isn't there? A team in the Championship loses their wing back because they go to wherever.
Yeah. Or injuries or whatever.
So we keep our fingers crossed. I think.
Obviously, everyone's reluctant to sell at the minute. Obviously, or to do much business at all, because you just don't know when you're going to need your squad. You kind of need it more than ever, as we've seen, so it does make things difficult. Matt Taylor talked about that with some of the loan moves we were looking at, how suddenly people don't want to loan players out, and I mean, that's understandable. But there has been some movement.
Yes. A new loan signing.
Welcome, and in a way, you called it.
In a way?
Yeah.
In what way?
I mean, you've never heard of the man.
Yeah.
But so you didn't call it explicitly.
No.
But you did say you wanted someone from sort of, far away climes.
Oh, I did. So he's a Congolese player called Afrandi Zanzala.
Yep. Oz to his mates, apparently.
Okay. Welcome, Oz. We've got him on loan from Barrow, which is less glamorous than the Congo.
Yep.
But just as unlikely a place.
Yeah.
For me to visit. Last year he was at Carlisle. Went to Barrow this year. Of course, Barrow currently managed by Mark Cooper.
Yep. Well, Mark Cooper announced it on the radio.
Yeah.
Sort of Barrow FM or something.
Because Barrow got beaten. What was the score? 5-4 to Barnsley, wasn't it?
I don't know, yeah.
So he was... I'm sure I wouldn't have heard of it, but I think the Exeter City people I picked it up of might not have heard it either if Barrow hadn't been given that kind of window because they had this mad game against Barnsley.
Yeah, so someone asked him,
where's
Zanzala, and he said he's off to Exeter.
Yeah, which has been proved to be true. So it's a loan. Cooper obviously bought him in the summer. Apparently Carlisle wanted him to stay.
Well, apparently we were interested in the summer as well, according to Matt Taylor. Yeah,
that's true.
It's someone we looked at least. So Carlisle fans seem very fond of him. Again, he's one of these players where you look at the stats and you think, oh, he hasn't scored many goals. But, that was exactly what everyone was saying in the summer about pretty much everybody we signed.
Yep.
And they, it's weird, isn't it? Sometimes you can sometimes football clubs can be different from each other and they can do things in different ways, and that can either have a good or bad effect on a player. You know, so I mean, we play a very different way to Barrow.
Yeah,
We know that because we keep not being able to beat them.
but he hasn't been involved in Barrow really. So
Well, he played against us.
yes,
No, but he's not really fit in. He hasn't managed to find, and Mark Cooper said he basically has lost confidence. But you know, we play a very different way to them. Carlisle fans seem very keen on him. I think it's a good move.
he's big boy, isn't he? 6'3" or something.
Is he? I thought I saw 6'1" somewhere.
Oh, okay. But looks large. When you see him on the pitch, like it's a solid man.
Yeah.
And there's lots of talk about how he creates space. So if that's... I mean, obviously, we've got the kind of players that thrive on space. So if that's true...
Yeah, he looks like a dynamic kind of guy.
Yeah. He seems like a lovely man.
He does seem very pleasant, doesn't he?
Yeah.
A delight.
Yeah.
I'd say. So, yeah, it's pleasing to get someone in a position that we really needed.
Yeah.
I'm also boosted by the fact in the interview with Matt Taylor about signing him, he also kind of revealed that Nombe's apparently not too far away as well.
Back training, apparently.
Yeah, so that's some positive news, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Double positive.
Double positive. And
in a world where positives at the moment are bad.
Yeah, yes, very good. And few and far between, unless we're talking about the bad kind. Yeah, well, let's compare and contrast, Dan, if you will, this transfer window then and last season's, where last day of the window, Bowman hoped he was going, and we couldn't get anyone else in, either for Bowman or in advance of Bowman, because we already needed someone, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
So I think that's yeah, a brilliant. We'll see how it works out, but I'm delighted to see that he's in. He's got a week of training before the Scunthorpe game on Saturday.
Yep.
But
he's someone who's brought in who's also available now as well. Now, I suppose that for a loan signing for half a season, it wouldn't make sense to bring in one of these kind of guys who's needs fitness.
Yeah.
But still, it's good that he's ready to go. I don't think he's played much at Barrow, so that might mean take a bit of getting used to,
Yeah.
But like you said, you've got a week to train and hopefully, and then a kind of like a home game to kick off your time here. So that's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I already thought of the chant for him.
Oh yeah.
Pretty basic one really, and it was very obvious. But the kind of like is it Ultra Nate? The one they do that Freed from Desire.
Yeah.
Is that how it's by?
Yeah.
So they do that one. I just think you could do it like I'm not going to sing it, but like whatever isn't it? Offrand. Offrand's on fire. Your defense is terrified. Blah 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 blah. Zanzar la 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 la.
Oh yeah,
la,
very
la,
good.
la.
That is good.
That'll do, wouldn't it?
That would more than do.
Yeah.
Pick it up, Big Bank, if you can. If you got the memo.
It's quite kind of nuanced, isn't it? Because you have to really pick out the Zanzar a bit. But I think it's again could work.
Love it. Well,
maybe they can come up with something better than that. Wouldn't be surprised.
Let's. We wish him all the best, obviously. But he could really help us out here.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. I think it will give us a boost. I think it will give, if he starts or if he plays, it can give the fans a boost too.
Yep.
A new signing in there, especially a new striker. When we've been missing our new favourite boy.
Yeah.
For a few weeks.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It could be just what we need, just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah. I hope so. Imagine that debut goal in front of the Big Bank.
Never look back from that, do you?
No, exactly.
Never look back.
What else do we need?
Well, Amond hasn't gone. It doesn't look like, and doesn't look like he's going to be. Newport have essentially said as much.
Right.
Because if you recall, there was the option of recall. There's also the Dawson option of recall, and I think that's the point. I think there's only the January point as well. So, looks like...
we're kind of in trouble if we lose the keeper, aren't we? But
yeah. But, I mean, Matt Taylor will have had some assurances, I'm sure.
Yeah, you can't leave yourself in that much, that open to kind of like... It just changes your team so much, doesn't it? But
yeah, so looks like maybe we're in a better place than we thought we were a month ago.
I don't want to jinx it by saying that, because then...
I know something could happen.
What will we now? 10th, 11th, 12th of January?
Yeah.
Still a way to go.
Well... Josh Key goes, which is the most obvious outcome. The most obvious, obviously, I can't speak. The most obvious negative outcome this window. Josh Key goes. We have at least got the plan.
Yeah.
I don't think Caprice is as good as Josh Key. I don't think. Do I think Sparks is better than Caprice? Probably, actually.
Well, it's different. It's
Different.
definitely different. So what it means is it changes things.
Yeah.
Like, in a way, part of the reason our wing-back situation works so well is the pace. Now, that's something that Jack Sparks hasn't necessarily got as much of. Definitely not as much as Jake Priest. He's all about beating his man down the outside, isn't he? But Jack Sparks, is left-footed.
Yeah.
And he's, and
a very good player on his day.
I think so. And is capable of very good delivery.
Yeah.
Like, he's not like every time like 10 out of 10, balls into the box, but Jake Caprice can't kick the ball with his left foot. So,
question: Key doesn't go. It's more of a hypothesis. Key doesn't go. Does Sparks overtake Caprice?
I'm not sure, but in a way, I'm not sure that it matters because I think there's definitely room for both of them to contribute. And if anything, if you've got there's so much focus for our wing backs if we play that way, which I really hope we do, because I think, like we were saying last week, we seem so much more effective. You're playing that way, yeah. You're troubling these defences with your wing backs, and then you change it up. Maybe say it's not working, or it's working but we can't score. Then you change it up, and suddenly they've got something completely different to contend with. You've got someone who is going down the outside and can deliver a ball from the byline, and they're not cutting in all of a sudden. It's just a good switch up to be able to have, isn't it? Whichever way you go round it, either you bring Caprice on and he starts cutting inside, or you bring Sparks on and he starts going round the back. So
that's also true, isn't it, of Zanzala and Amond and Nombe? In a way, there was only really one plan with Nombe, and a very good plan. But if you worked it out, the game's sorted, really, and we've seen that a couple of times.
Yeah, with someone like him, you kind of hope, and kind of has happened that he's kind of got the strength to kind of be able to strength and the pace to you can't do anything about whether you know what he's doing or not.
Yes.
It's whether you can do something about it.
Yes.
But
Zanzala's something different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great to have more options, isn't it?
Certainly is. So that's the transfer section, is it?
Transfer section. Yeah. I just wanted to add in. Oh no, I'll save that for later. It's so inconsequential that we'll do it at the end.
It's never stopped us before.
No, but let's talk about Scunthorpe.
Okay. Scunthorpe is a town in East Yorkshire. We're playing them on Saturday.
Yep. Been a while since our last league fixture.
Forest Green, wasn't it? Was the last one.
Yeah, which we lost.
Which we drew.
Did we?
We drew Forest Green, didn't we?
We should know.
We should know. It seems so long ago.
No, we did. We played really well, didn't we? And then we drew.
So Scunthorpe on Saturday at St James Park. It's the first time we've been at St James Park in a really long time for a league game.
Yeah.
Scunthorpe are having a torrid time. You might recall, I think it was 2 seasons ago they came down from League One. Before that, they've been pushing for Championship football, overinvestment, chairman losing his heart for the thing or losing his money or whatever. They currently sit in 23rd, 18 points. Oldham are bottom with 19 points. By the way, you wouldn't have predicted those two, would you, for bottom two?
Well, I mean, you might have done, actually, if you're if you look at the finances involved.
Well, maybe.
But yeah, no, historically
Scunthorpe
not.
have conceded 42 goals and they've only scored 19.
Yeah, that's not good.
42.
Yeah, they're not in a good place form wise, are they? They haven't won. They can't buy a win. They've had a fair few draws.
Yeah, that's right. But this is
such a good opportunity for us to
Such
kind
a
of
good
emerge
opportunity.
from this kind of bad old December, which was bad results wise, but we had looked like we're starting to kind of piece things together as a team a bit more by the end of it, haven't we? The Forest Green game and the Portsmouth game being plenty of positives for that, despite us not getting any kind of win out of it or anything. But we'd start to look better, but our form is nearly as bad as theirs on paper.
Yeah.
But this is the opportunity, innit,
I tell
Home
you
game against second from bottom, new striker, people back fit. Sweeney was back, by the way, started against Portsmouth. So that's another positive thing. He did 45 minutes as planned. So,
I guess I'm going to sound stupid saying this. The kind of one thing going for Scunthorpe is Keith Hill's their manager. But actually, when you look at Keith Hill's record, because when I think of Keith Hill, I think of he did a really long time at Rochdale. He brought them quite a lot of success, 6 or 7 years, I think he was. But actually, he left Rochdale in 2019. Since then, he did a year at Bolton, a year at Tranmere, and now he's at Scunthorpe. So he hasn't replicated those successes, although this is a new level of bad for him.
Has he been there since the start of the season?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, something's not working there, is it?
So has he been start of the season? He's been there a while, certainly. Maybe not quite the start of the season. But yeah, dear me, it's we've got to. I'd be so livid.
We've
got to play with the 3 at the back, with the 5 at the back.
I think we've really got to absolutely approach this like we did with the Forest Green game. Do you mean? And it just kind of like let's just absolutely give them everything we've got. You know, like
yeah.
There's no room for kind of caution, I don't think, at this point, you know, like not when you're playing someone like that who can't score and can concede, you know. So we've got to be straight off the, what do they say, out of the traps.
Yeah, straight out of the traps, absolutely that. Yeah, we'd all be very disappointed. Even if we win, we want to see it done in a positive way, don't we?
It's that kind of thing, isn't it? Yeah.
If we scrape a 1-0,
no,
that's not what we need.
It isn't. No, we need a boost, and we need to build some momentum, don't we? We need to start putting a run together now.
Yeah.
I think we slipped down to 9th. There's a few League 2 games last night. I think Mansfield might have overtaken us. They're on a hell of a run. So it's another team picking up from who weren't doing so well at the start of the season.
Yeah.
And that's the danger, isn't it? You know, there's quite a few teams in this division that at the beginning of the season were kind of underperforming, and then, you know, as we know in League 2, things change.
Yeah, they really do.
It's almost like 2 seasons, isn't it? You know, like the before Christmas and after Christmas, because of it always seems to go that way in League 2, doesn't it? You know,
it does seem to. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a big old league, isn't it? 46 games is quite an ask.
Yeah,
and as we saw with and
you haven't necessarily got these huge squads where you can kind of like necessarily have the same consistency as if you did. You know, like small kind of events can have like seismic kind of consequences. You know, a team could lose a player to injury, or get one back, and it could really kind of like change your entire thing, couldn't it? So
yeah, I mean, absolutely. Yeah, you never would have predicted. Nombe, we all knew, but I don't think any of us. We knew how good Dieng was, but I don't know if we quite realised how much we were going to miss him when he got injured. You know, I think that was big. I think Nombe leads the line. Nombe creates, and he's got that kind of vibe about him. But Dieng's just been brilliant.
Yeah, I don't think it's really and I think he brings the best out of other players around him too. I mean, Collins has got more license to do the things he's good at when Dieng's there, you know, alongside him. So like,
that's right.
That is another positive thing that he's back in there, you know. And we're going to need him for the rest of that season. He said, you don't necessarily realise it, but you know, you need your best players fit.
Yeah. I thought we were going to get to see for Scunthorpe Ryan Loft, but bizarrely, I would say, given what we saw of him, he's got a move to Bristol Rovers. Yeah,
Ryan Loft is the most confusing. It's just very strange, isn't it? What is going on there? I mean, it must have some agent.
Yeah, it really must.
Or has he been doing stuff that I don't know about? I mean, not
for Scunthorpe, clearly.
But no, every time we see him, and I think we only saw like 1 or 2 games of him, didn't we? Like,
yeah.
But what is it about him that keeps getting these moves to teams? And he was playing for Spurs, wasn't he, when we had him?
Yeah.
Yeah, very weird.
Maybe very cheap.
I don't know what it is. But Bristol Rovers, so yeah.
Anyway, so Scunthorpe, yeah.
We got to play them again. Presumably we have, right?
Bristol Rovers?
Yeah.
Got to go up there. That's in a month or 2.
Yeah. We've got a pretty good record against them, haven't we? It'd be even,
yeah, if we could repeat that home victory, that would be
I wouldn't be
marvellous.
worried if we played against him a few times, haven't we, since?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be worried about it if he was there. Do you remember when he left us? He ended up signing for Leicester, didn't he?
Yeah. It's very strange.
Very strange.
Someone must see something in him, but I don't see it. Anyway, That is Saturday coming. So I'm well looking forward to getting back there.
Oh,
to
me
see some
too.
league
I mean,
football.
obviously I was there on Friday, but I mean, it's not the
same, is
same.
it?
And although it was good to be back in there, and this will be even better, Let's just hope I mean, it'll be good to be there regardless, but let's just hope it can be a really good day with a
Absolutely.
comprehensive win.
Absolutely. Start pulling those teams above us in a bit, reeling them in a bit.
Yeah. Or at least getting ourselves back into contention,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing I was going to say was about, I can't even remember why we were talking about it, but did you see the news yesterday that this fella's had a pig's heart
I did see it.
transplanted?
I did see it, and I
But
thought
apparently
of you.
it's a world first. So we talked about this. I don't know why we were talking about this before, but we talked about something to do with Pig Heart Boy, which is an old TV program.
Yeah, it's because of Ryan Bowman keeling over.
Right. I'm not even sure it was, to be honest, but yeah. So it turns out no one's ever had a pig's heart transplanted into them before, but they have had. But it's quite common to have like a pig's heart valve
Yeah.
put into your human heart.
Yes.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
But now someone actually has had a pig's. Now this fella's got the heart of a pig.
Yeah. I saw on the news that it was actually a genetically modified pig, and I thought, well, that could be anyone in Plymouth.
Hey. But it's some sort of superpowered pig.
I guess what they've done is GM'd poor old portly pig to be more human in his heart.
What, like he's very caring or
Yeah,
or not?
He's really passionate about certain things, and
He enjoys classical music and
perhaps.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought of you.
Yep.
And I thought of you, listeners. Whenever you see a pig's heart, you can now think of us.
Whenever you see a pig, hopefully you'll think of me, or us, or you.
Not me, just you or us. I don't want to be singled out as there's a pig like John.
Well, they won't be thinking that. And also, isn't it just good to be in people's thoughts, even negative or positive?
I mean, that's what like someone who's hated says. That's what like Kerry Katona would say.
Is she hated?
Yeah.
Katie Hopkins?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, at least people are talking about me. No one ever talks about you.
That other woman from TikTok or whatever it was who said it was, poor people were lazy or whatever she's gone on about.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah. No, all press is good press. Is that what they say?
That's what they say. It's Jurgen Klopp's catchphrase, actually.
Right.
Hey, this is completely off topic, but...
We're already talking about pig's heart.
Oh, yeah, so we are. Of course, City got absolutely robbed by Cambridge United in the FA Cup.
Well, literally we did. We were like, the rest apologised.
The rest apologised.
Yeah.
Cambridge United then got the plum draw, Newcastle away,
Yeah.
which they then won thanks to, Dan, VAR.
Which shouldn't even really have been
Shouldn't
in
even really been a
place.
thing.
And then they also beat Portsmouth in the Papa John's Cup next round, which weirdly has already happened.
Right.
So, what's going on here?
I don't know.
Cambridge United are this weird, our current, I guess, it would have been Lincoln. You've always got these teams around you that you sort of end up playing a load, and there's all this weird context around. They're our newest one, aren't they?
Cambridge United.
What's the other one? Derek Adams. They're another one. You get kind of tied up in these stories with these teams every
Bradford,
year.
yeah. Those boffins.
The Cambridge
from,
have been our one for a couple of years because we had that thing where they beat us 4-1 in the
Yeah.
league, and then we went or something, and then
We played them a week later. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
I hate them.
It's them professors from Cambridge University who have genetically modified
a pig.
a pig
Yeah,
and dressed it up as...
in a white puffer jacket and given him the job as.
I think we're getting our stories mixed up here. Now, my theory
It's
is
easy to.
the
It's easy to.
VAR men are actually pigs in wigs, and
Oh right,
it's all put there to stop Exeter City from winning the FA Cup.
right.
Fact.
Some sort of Orwellian kind of like shared universe kind of
Something like that. I don't know what's going on. It's not for the likes of me and you, but we've seen through the looking glass here, Dan. We're onto something.
This is kind of very kind of conspiracy theory
Yeah, I think
kind of thing.
we segued into something else here.
Yeah. Joe Rogan will be talking about this next week, I imagine. or
Well, you heard
something
it
like
here
that.
first,
Yeah.
listeners.
If I won't be listening, but if you hear Joe Rogan talking about pig men doing,
And he
He's a
don't-
pig man, Jerry, doing VAR,
Yeah, you heard it here first.
then remember the source.
Yeah. Okay.
What sauce would you have with applesauce, presumably?
I'm a vegetarian, so I just have a bowl of applesauce with no pig.
Yeah,
Anyway,
me too.
you too. I don't really like applesauce, I gotta be honest.
No, I mean, no, I like it because I always think kind of in those situations, I'd think someone wouldn't have come up with this, pork and applesauce if it didn't really go. It must go.
Yeah.
So in the time when I was eating meat, I might have had a pork and applesauce thing.
Yeah.
Now I wouldn't eat pork, so I don't have any. But if someone's got some sort of suggestion for something else that applesauce could go with, non-meat,
That'd be good to know.
then maybe I'll be into it.
I reckon probably you put it in a cheese sandwich, don't you? Someone does.
Maybe
Apple and cheese.
I'll defer to a chef.
Okay. Any chefs on here want to let us know about applesauce?
Yeah.
Crack on. Well, this has been the Big Bang Theory podcast.
Crackling on.
Hey.
That's nothing.
My name's John. I've been here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Cheers.
See you soon.